Hi, my name's Elizabeth DiPrinzio of Earth and Element, and I'm a Los Angeles-based ceramicist. Earth and Element is a ceramic studio, and we're inspired by nature, and we try and bring those elements into your home. We create colorful, functional, day-to-day use tableware. It's a really beautiful relationship between food and plating. You have your plate that you've made with your bare hands, and you've created this beautiful meal with your hands, and you combine the two, and it just makes the experience so much more beautiful and organic. The way we make our plates is we roll out a large piece of slab. We then take our plate template and we cut out our plates. We then take the clay and we throw it down on our plate mold. From there, we bring down our jigger arm, and the jigger arm has a profile tool connected to it. So once you pull it down, it actually starts molding and shaping the plate. From there, we adjust the plate a little bit. We put it out in the sun to dry for 30 minutes. So first, when I'm making a cup is I measure out my clay, and usually with my cups I measure out about 1 pound. From there, I throw the clay on the wheel, I wet my hands, I wet the piece, and I just get to work. The first thing you want to do is cone your piece up. So when you're coning, it looks like a little cone, and we're doing that just to get all those weird little air bubbles out. So once you do that a few times, you then bring the cone down into this little birthday cake, is what we like to call it. Take your 2 thumbs, insert it into the middle of the piece, and you're going to start pulling the walls out and creating your bottom of the cup. From there, you're going to start pulling the walls up, and this is what gives the cup its height. I then cut out all my little moons, and I attach those moons one by hand. What we use is we call it slip, and it's like the potter's glue. What's so important about a mug is people start to get attached to their mugs, and it becomes their everyday mug, and it becomes their morning ritual, and it's how they start their day. With a bowl, you really want to make sure that the shape is something that's easy for someone to hold and easy to eat out of. I really try and make sure that the bowl is really round and then it feels good in my hands. Trimming is basically cleaning the edges and the rim of either a bowl or a plate just so that it's smooth and it doesn't scratch. Once bone dry, it gets fired for the first time. When we fire, that's at around 1800 degrees, and it becomes what we call bisquares. Bisquare is fired pottery that is ready for glazing. Once the bisquare comes out of the fire, we sand the piece, we put it back on the wheel, and we wax parts of the plates and parts of the pieces that we don't want glaze to touch. So that would be the bottom of cups, the rim of a plate, and the rims of bowls. After the pieces are waxed, we then mix our glaze, and we have all of our colors in each of their own glaze bucket, and we mix each one just to make sure all those elements and compounds are mixed well together, and then it gives one beautiful coat to a piece. A lot of our plates and our cups have this striped design, so we keep that design going and we dip half the plate. We let that dry, then we dip the other side, and it creates like this stripe in the middle of all of our plates and bowls. What's so special about a plate is it's almost the canvas for a painter, especially when we're dealing and working with chefs and designing for their restaurant and what they're cooking. They're playing with colors, they're playing with textures. So for them, it's also really important to have something that's just as beautiful and looks well with what they're making and what they're cooking. Once we have everything glazed, it enters the kiln and we fire at 2200 degrees. It'll fire for about 12 hours overnight, and then the next day we let it sit for about 5 hours to cool down. Once it reaches around 200-300 degrees, we start like peeking and taking pieces out. So the clay is called speckled buff clay, and those pop up during the glaze firing. You can't see them during greenware or even bisqueware. You see the final product once it comes out of the glaze. After we take those fired pieces out, we have to sand every single piece, make sure the bottom is smooth, that way it doesn't scratch the surface of somebody's table. From there, we pack it and we ship it out to our customers. What makes us unique from other pottery studios is our colors. We're not afraid to color outside the lines and redefine what tableware should look like. Some people have a relationship with their food, they have a relationship with their favorite sweater, and I think there are a lot of foodies and chefs and people like me that have a relationship with their tableware and their favorite cup. A cup, a bowl, a plate, to me, is something that you use every single day. What we drink and eat from is really important. It's how we start our day. It becomes part of your day-to-day ritual. And so I think it's really important to love what you eat off of. That's the best part of this whole thing, is bringing joy to other people.